Today, I want to address something vital, a behavior so common that many of you engage in it without sensing the potential damage. It's the impulse to broadcast every idea you have, every business strategy, every personal dream, to anyone within earshot. Some of you surely do this on social media. Hey everyone, I'm launching a new project. Wish me success. Or, I'm committing to this new path. But listen closely, my friends. Do not announce your intentions. Today, I will explain exactly why. You see, in my youth, I made this exact error. I was brimming with concepts, so thrilled that I couldn't wait to articulate them. I'd gather friends, speaking for hours about our grand designs. We'd discuss building empires, transforming industries, and earning fortunes. Oh, the joy of those dreams. But then, a pattern emerged. Every time I vocalized my ambitions, the execution faltered. The first reason? An avalanche of opinions. When you reveal your blueprint, what occurs? Everyone starts offering commentary. Advice floods in from people who have never attempted your journey. Counsel comes from those paralyzed by their own risk aversion. Advice comes from people who, if we're honest, sometimes prefer not to see you rise. It's like asking 1,000 strangers to help navigate your ship through a storm. Too many navigators will run you aground, my friends. Too many voices cloud your own instincts. Then, there is a second, more subtle trap. When you speak excessively about your strategy, you expend the psychological energy meant for achieving it. Think about it. You share a brilliant concept. They reply, "Wow, that's incredible." And in that moment, you receive a tiny dopamine hit of success. You feel validated. The problem is that this feeling of accomplishment you derive from talking begins to replace the genuine drive you require to do. Instead of channeling energy into execution, you spend it on conversation. Instead of working in private, you are busy hunting for approval. My counsel, stay silent. Let your accomplishments be the sound. Now, some of you are wondering, but what is wrong with sharing? Shouldn't I solicit feedback? Shouldn't I get counsel from those who care? Well, here is where discernment is critical. Of course, you should seek guidance, but not from the crowd. Not all counsel is valuable. Let me offer an illustration. When I launched my e-commerce vision, nobody saw its potential. People thought I was delusional. An online marketplace in this country? Are you mad? The internet is a Western toy, not for us. I recall one of my own mentors advising, perhaps you should stick to your stable job. Entrepreneurship is too dangerous. If I had listened to them, if I had shared my complete vision and permitted them to implant their skepticism into my mind, do you think that company would exist today? Of course not. Sometimes, the people nearest to you are the ones who unintentionally hold you back. It is not from a lack of love, but from a failure of vision. They do not see what you see. Your vision is your vision. It's personal. It's unique. They haven't lived your experiences, thought your thoughts, or dreamed your specific aspirations. So, how can they genuinely comprehend what you are trying to build? That is why I insist, don't announce your intentions. Not everyone is equipped to hear them. Not everyone is prepared to believe in you with the intensity that you believe in yourself. And most critically, not everyone is qualified to give you the right kind of counsel. It's like building a sculpture in a private studio. You don't invite the public in every day to critique the messy, unfinished clay. No, you lock the door. You work, you mold, you refine. Protect your vision until it's complete. Then, and only then, when the masterpiece is finished, do you open the doors for the world to see the result. When you operate in silence, something profound occurs. You become more focused. You cease worrying about external judgment, and you start concentrating purely on the task itself. That is where true momentum builds. Let me share a related story. When I first began building my company, the noise was deafening. Everyone was talking about the internet bubble, about how this model would never work here. I remember attending meetings where experts would say, "Jack, you're wasting your efforts. People here will never buy things online. They need to touch the goods, to haggle for price." But what did I do? Did I go around debating them, try and persuade them they were mistaken? No, I kept my mouth shut and worked. I held my vision close and focused on building something remarkable. We were a tiny crew, working around the clock, fueled by cheap noodles and a shared belief. We didn't have the luxury of time to talk. We were too occupied with doing. And guess what? When the company finally ignited, everyone was stunned. "How did this happen?" they asked. And I smiled. "I told you so, I thought." But I didn't say it. That is the power of quiet execution. You astonish people with outcomes, not announcements. Now, let's discuss something else, jealousy. This is a hard truth, but not everyone will be happy for you. When you find success, some people will be envious. They might smile outwardly, but deep down, they don't want you to win. And you know what? When you tell these kinds of people your plans, they can sabotage you, sometimes unconsciously. I am certain many of you have felt this. You tell someone your dream, and rather than offering support, they say things like, "Are you certain? That sounds incredibly risky." Or, "Do you honestly think you are capable of that?" Their doubts start to seep into your mind. You begin questioning yourself. Before you know it, you've lost confidence in your own ability. Doubt is a poison gifted by others. So what is the antidote? It's simple. Deny them the opportunity to be jealous. Keep your strategy guarded. Let them find out about your success only when it is an established fact. Too late for their interference. Now, don't misunderstand me. I am not advocating for total isolation. Of course, there are moments when you need advice, when you need feedback, when you must bounce concepts off someone. But here's the key. Be selective. Don't share your plans with people who cannot grasp your vision. Don't share them with people who are negative or pessimistic. Instead, find a tiny circle of trusted individuals, people who believe in you, people who have experience, people who can offer constructive critique. In my case, I had a few close mentors who supported me during the early days. They didn't always get the technical details, but they trusted my capacity to solve problems. They urged me to continue, even when things got desperate. And believe me, things got desperate. There were times we had no funding, no resources, no hope. But because I surrounded myself with the right people, I was able to push through. I didn't need 100 opinions. I just needed 2 or 3 solid ones. Let's address one final issue: fear. Sometimes we tell everyone our plans because we are afraid of failing, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of making missteps. We believe that by declaring our intentions to the world, we will be held accountable and therefore more likely to succeed. But here is the truth. Fear is a terrible motivator. If you are making decisions out of fear, you are not thinking clearly. You are not acting from a place of confidence. Instead, you're letting other people's opinions control your actions. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Failure is part of the journey. In fact, it is essential. It's the tuition for success. When I started, I failed countless times. I made so many missteps that I lost count. But I didn't give up. I didn't let fear stop me from moving forward. And you shouldn't either. If you keep your plans internal, you eliminate the fear of public judgment. You grant yourself the freedom to experiment, to fail privately, and to learn without the pressure of outside opinions. In doing so, you give yourself the greatest possible chance to win. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, nobody cares about your plans. They care about your results. You can talk all day long about what you're going to do, but if you don't deliver, it's meaningless. That's why I always say, let success speak for itself. When my company became successful, people were shocked. They couldn't believe this small team of underdogs had built one of the largest e-commerce companies in the world. But by then, it was too late for them to criticize or doubt us. The results spoke for themselves. And that is the point I want to make today. If you keep your plans to yourself, you protect your vision. You shield it from negativity, doubt, and jealousy. You give yourself the time and space to focus on what really matters. Execution. When you finally achieve your goals, people will see the results. They won't need an explanation. They won't need to hear about all the plans you made. They'll see the success with their own eyes. And that's when you'll know you made the right decision. So, my young friends, as you embark on your journeys, remember this. Silence is your superpower. Don't waste time telling everyone your plans. Don't seek validation from people who don't understand your vision. If this message resonated with you, please press the like button and let us know your thoughts. It truly helps the Winds of Thought channel reach more people. Focus on the work. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your success surprise those who doubted you. And most importantly, trust yourself. You have everything you need to succeed. You just need to stay focused, stay quiet, and keep pushing forward. One day, when you've achieved your dreams, people will ask how you did it, and you'll smile because you'll know the secret to your success was simple. You kept your plans to yourself. Thank you